WWE just disrespected every single fan who stuck by Roman Reigns through 4 years of the most dominant championship reign in modern history. After everything, after the betrayals, after the war with Solo Sikoa, after the humiliation of being stripped of his own family's legacy, they want us to just sit back and quietly accept whatever version of the bloodline they decide to throw at us? No, absolutely not. Because what's being built right now heading into WrestleMania 42 is either the greatest redemption story WWE has ever told, or the biggest creative mistake they've made in a decade. And by the end of this video, you are going to know exactly which one it is. Don't you dare click off. Let's set the stage properly, because context is everything here. Roman Reigns returned from his most recent absence and the landscape of WWE had completely shifted underneath him. Solo Sikoa had taken the Bloodline name, corrupted it, weaponized it, and dragged it through the mud with a group of hired mercenaries who had no blood connection, no emotional stakes, and no real reason to fight for that family name. Tamar Tonga, Tonga Loa, Jacob Fatu. These men served a purpose, and Jacob Fatu especially proved he was a legitimate monster, but it was never the real Bloodline. Every single fan in every single arena felt that emptiness, and Roman felt it most of all. So when the whispers started circulating that Roman Reigns was going to reassemble the OG Bloodline, the real one, the original one, the one built on actual Samoan family blood, the entire WWE Universe collectively lost their minds. And rightfully so, because the OG Bloodline reuniting isn't just a storyline. It's a cultural moment. It's a generational reckoning. And heading into WrestleMania 42, WWE appears to be pulling every single trigger at once. We already knew about 2 members, Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso, the most decorated tag team of their generation, were always going to be the emotional core of any OG Bloodline reunion. Their story with Roman is one of the most layered, emotionally devastating narratives WWE has produced in years. Jimmy being manipulated, Jey being exiled, both brothers eventually finding their own identities outside of Roman's shadow, and now the possibility of them willingly walking back into that shadow, not out of fear, but out of loyalty and love. That is compelling television. That is the kind of storytelling that makes people cancel their plans on Saturday nights to watch wrestling. But here's where it gets explosive. In what year did Jey Uso first challenge Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship in their historic blood rivalry? Comment your answer below. Let's see who really knows their bloodline history. The conversation around the 4th and 5th members of the OG Bloodline has been the most hotly debated topic in WWE fan circles for weeks. Names were thrown around constantly. Sami Zayn was the most popular suggestion, and honestly, it makes complete emotional sense. Sami Zayn's journey through the original Bloodline was the most unexpectedly beautiful storyline WWE has told in the last 10 years. A lanky, lovable Canadian underdog who weaseled his way into a Samoan crime family, genuinely earned their trust, genuinely fell in love with that brotherhood, and then had his heart ripped out when Roman turned on him at Elimination Chamber. Sami Zayn crying in the ring that night wasn't just good acting. That was a man who had invested everything emotionally into that group and got destroyed for it. The crowd at WrestleMania 39 erupted for Sami because his story resonated with every single person who has ever been betrayed by someone they considered family. So yes, Sami Zayn as the 4th member of the reformed OG Bloodline hits differently than almost any other option on the table. It's not just a reunion, it's a forgiveness arc. It's Roman Reigns, the head of the table, humbling himself enough to extend an olive branch to the honorary Usos. And if that moment happens on the grandest stage of them all at WrestleMania 42, the roof of whatever stadium they are in will simply cease to exist. But now we need to talk about the name that has sent shockwaves through the entire WWE Universe. Zilla Fatu. If you don't know who Zilla Fatu is, I need you to pay very close attention right now because this young man is about to become one of the most important names in professional wrestling. Zilla Fatu is the son of the late great Umaga, one of the most feared and beloved monsters in WWE history. He has been tearing through the independent wrestling scene and WWE's developmental system with a combination of his father's raw physical intimidation and a modern athleticism that makes him genuinely terrifying to watch. The Fatu family bloodline in professional wrestling is as storied and as deep as it gets, and Zilla carries that legacy with a fire and an intensity that cannot be manufactured or trained. You either have it or you don't, and this young man has it in abundance. The reports and the creative direction strongly suggest that Zilla Fatu's WWE main roster debut is being positioned specifically around WrestleMania 42, and that his debut is intrinsically tied to the formation of the new OG Bloodline. Think about what that means for a second. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, introducing his cousin's son to the main roster under the Bloodline banner is not just a debut. It is a coronation. It is Roman passing a torch to the next generation of his family while simultaneously reclaiming his throne from the faction that stole everything from him. This is the storytelling layering that made the original Bloodline run the greatest faction story in modern wrestling history. Every single member had a reason to be there. Every single member had emotional stakes. And now with Zilla Fatu stepping into that world, WWE is quite literally investing in the future of this family's legacy while honoring its past. Zilla Fatu is the son of which legendary WWE superstar? If you know your wrestling history, this one should be easy. Drop it in the comments and let's get a conversation going. Now let's talk about WrestleMania 42 specifically, because the booking implications here are massive. If the OG Bloodline is being reformed with Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, G Uso, Sami Zayn, and Zilla Fatu, that is a 5-man faction with enough star power, enough emotional history, and enough in-ring ability to anchor an entire WrestleMania card. You could book a traditional Survivor Series style elimination match. You could book Roman and Zilla in a dominant squash to establish the newcomer immediately on the biggest stage. You could book the Usos reclaiming the tag team championships as part of the reunion celebration. The creative possibilities are genuinely endless, and that is a beautiful problem for WWE to have. What makes this even more fascinating is the symbolic weight of Solo Sikoa still being out there. Solo built his entire identity on taking what Roman built and claiming it as his own. He usurped the tribal chief title. He corrupted the Bloodline name. He looked his own family members in the eye and chose power over blood. And now the real family is coming back together, stronger, more unified, and more motivated than ever, specifically to dismantle everything Solo constructed. That is a collision course that writes itself. And WrestleMania 42 appears to be the destination. Roman Reigns getting his full revenge on Solo Sikoa with his real family standing behind him, with Zilla Fatu making his earth-shattering debut, with the Usos reunited and Sami Zayn finally back where his heart always was. That is not just a WrestleMania match. That is a moment. That is the kind of television that people talk about 20 years from now. WWE built something special with the original Bloodline run. They almost destroyed it. And now, piece by piece, they appear to be putting it back together in a way that could actually surpass the original. That should terrify Solo Sikoa, and it should absolutely excite every single one of us. Don't forget to like, share this video, and let me know in the comments, are you ready for the OG Bloodline's full return at WrestleMania 42? This is Suplex Rumble. We'll see you in the next one.